Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today we're talking about some recent changes that Google made in the search engine results pages. Now, in years past, you would have noticed maybe at the top of the page there would be AdWords ads, Google ads, and there would be maybe like 3 of those at the top. There might be a couple at the bottom. Now, also about 4 or 5 years ago, the ads, they had a little yellow box with white writing that said ad. So it was very clear that you were looking at an ad. Then, as time went by, it gradually morphed into a green box with white writing that said ad. Then last year, it was a green outline with green writing that said ad. And again, the point was trying to make the ads look more like organic results. Now, just recently, just in this last week, it looks like Google has changed ads again. So AdWords, now it's just black writing, no outline around a box, just black writing that says ad. Black writing, kind of like the rest of the search engine results. So the point of this is basically Google is, in a way, this is what we call a dark pattern in user experience, where you're trying to trick people into doing the thing that they're not intending to do. That's a dark pattern. So basically, Google is trying to trick people into clicking on an ad. They're doing the bare minimum to tell people that this is an ad, to where they're not regulated. If you picked up on the video that we did yesterday about why Yelp ranks at the top of almost every local SEO search, part of it is because Yelp is a good result, but part of it is also because Yelp filed an antitrust suit against Google because Yelp was not making enough money to hit their targets to make their stock price go up. So they figured they would sue Google and file this antitrust. So Google, because they don't want to be found in violation of this, they display those prominently, but Google was already showing them. So these latest changes, back to the latest changes with AdWords. Google has to show that it's an ad, but they're disguising it more and more cleverly. Another thing that you may have noticed recently, remember at the beginning of the video, just a couple of minutes ago, I said, it used to be there was 3 results at the top. Then you would see the 3-pack map. Then you'd see the 10 organic results and normal search results. Then you would see maybe 1 or 2 AdWords at the bottom. Now that has changed in over the last 6 months or so. And what I'm seeing now, in most cases, most search engine results pages, what I'm seeing is anywhere from 3 to 4, sometimes it's 6 or 7 ads at the top, depending on what it is, depending on what the query is, but usually about 4 ads at the top. And then sometimes I'm only seeing 9 search results, organic search results in that first page, and then more AdWords at the bottom. So obviously, Google wants people to keep searching on Google. Now, a lot of people say their business model is they want to give users the best results so that people keep using their search engine. But the truth of the matter is they don't make any money from delivering up free search results. They do want people to keep using their search engine, but the reason being is the people who are not good at SEO, the businesses that are not good at SEO, they want them to go and buy AdWords or this home service, ads at the top of the page for electricians or plumbers or HVAC. Bottom line, or Google Shopping if you're e-commerce. They want people to invest as much money as they can into ads. This is how Google has made the majority of their money from the inception of their existence until now. And yes, they've dabbled in other things. For a brief period, they owned Boston Dynamics, the robot dog, the military robotics firm. They owned them briefly, but they sold them. Most of the money that they make is honestly from selling AdWords. So they do want people to keep using their search engine, but the bottom line is they're not going to make money unless people keep buying AdWords and keep clicking on AdWords, so Google ads. They want to deliver the best results, but they do want to make it easy for people to buy ads and click on ads. So this is why they're changing the look and the aesthetics of the ads. It still says ad, but they're disguising it as much as they possibly can in order to make people click on it. And I mean, that's the bottom line. And all this from the company whose motto is, "Don't be evil." So bottom line, SEO is still an important thing. They don't want to lose market share to other search engines like Bing. They don't want to lose market share to DuckDuckGo, which I think is like right under 1% of the total market share of search engines right now. That could be a viable threat, but Google really has, about 70, depending on what stats you look at, Google still has about 70 to 89% of the total search engine market. So they do not want the government to come in and regulate them at all. But at the same time, they got to keep that stock price up. And they're always going to walk the line between having a satisfying customer experience, people using it, and not completely overflowing it with ads. Right now, the pendulum is swinging toward the point where they have a ton of ads. This is the most ads on the search engine results pages that I've seen in quite a while from Google. If people stop using Google, or if Bing or DuckDuckGo, if their market share increases, they might dial it back a little bit. Or maybe if they hit their sales projections or their revenue projections for the next quarter, they might dial it back. But this is a fine line that they're always going to walk. They make their money off of ads, selling ads to people. Hope that explains that. Yes, you're not hallucinating. There are more ads in Google, and yes, they did make the ads look more like the organic search results. They've been continuing to walk in that direction for a while. So definitely something to think about. SEO is still valuable, but if you need a short-term gain, nothing wrong with throwing some money on AdWords. If it gets you a lead that you can convert, that's great. That's it for this video. My name is John Locke, Lockdown Design and SEO. We're here publishing every single day, so I'd love to see you subscribe. All I got for now. Until next time, peace.